Welcome to another episode of Erik Wait Whiskey Studies, and in this video I'm going to share with you my 5 recommended whiskeys for the holidays. So in this video I'm going to share with you 5 whiskeys, not one that is perhaps preferred one over the other in terms of a top 5 video, but rather 5 whiskeys that I would have in a series, in a lineup throughout the day or the evening as you're spending time with your family, your relatives, and some of your neighbors. Number 1 is the Hibiki Harmony Japanese whiskey. It's produced by Beam Suntory. It's made from whiskey sourced from several Japanese distilleries. It's bottled at 43% alcohol by volume. It's a non-age statement and sells for about $80. So the reason why I chose the Hibiki Harmony Japanese whiskey is, as your friends, your neighbors, and yes, even some of your relatives begin to show up, you want to start with something light, something delicate, something a little bit sweet, because we've got a long evening with all these folks. And the whiskey is very affordable, and it comes in an absolutely beautiful bottle. So those relatives and those friends perhaps are not familiar with whiskey, maybe they're not, don't know a lot about it. This will be a very impressive bottle to show them because it is beautiful, and it'll be a good approach, good sort of stepping your toes into whiskey for the evening. It's not going to be absolutely overwhelming, but it's going to have that sort of nice, fresh, citrusy, lemony character to start off the evening. And surely by the end of the evening, the bottle will be empty, and it'll make an absolutely beautiful decanter in which you could put your other whiskeys and make your own infinity bottle. Number 2 is the Compass Box Spice Tree Blended Malt Scotch Whiskey. The whiskey is a vatting of single malt from Northern Highland distilleries, principally Clanleash. The whiskey is aged in American oak barrels with French heavily toasted heads. It's bottled at 46% alcohol by volume. It's a non-age statement and sells for about $60. So the reason why I chose the Compass Box Spice Tree for our second dram is this whiskey absolutely screams fall and the holidays. It has a similar character to the Hibiki Harmony in terms of being a delicate whiskey with some citrus notes, but it's got additional aromas of spice. It reminds me a little bit of, say, apple pie, peach cobbler, which really lines up really well with the food you're going to have later on in the evening. It's more intense than the Hibiki Harmony. There's a lot more flavor to deliver, but still, you're not overwhelming the palate. It's a nice step up in terms of intensity of spice and apple and citrus character. An absolutely fantastic whiskey. I've gone through, I think, about 3 or 4 of these already. If you can get your hands on a bottle of the Extravaganza, which is another step, a lot more intense, similar in profile, and it's going to cost a little bit more, I would recommend getting a bottle of that as well. And I think your relatives, friends, or even some of your neighbors who might be new to whiskey, this is one that is going to be really delightful. It is nice and sweet from the front and into the middle, and has a nice sort of baked spices finish. Really a delightful whiskey, and just an absolutely spectacular way to introduce someone to Scotch malt. The third is Redbreast Cask Strength Single Pot Still Irish Whiskey. It's made from a mash of a malted and unmalted barley and then triple distilled in copper pot stills. It's produced by Middleton Distillery. It's bottled at cask strength at 55.8% alcohol by volume. It's a non-age statement and sells for about $64. The reason why I chose the Redbreast Single Pot Irish Whiskey cask strength is, you know what, by now all the relatives are here with their kids. And the kids are buzzing around the Christmas tree, looking at all the presents, and it's getting really loud. And that uncle that you don't particularly care for is showing up, and he's telling you all those same bullshit stories you've already heard many times. Now you need something with perhaps a little bit similar to the prior whiskeys in terms of having some apple and citrus character, but this one is also going to get a little bit of a dried fruit character, but also some buttery cookie character as well. I would say sort of like a butter sauce, And you're gonna want the cask strength. Yes, the 12-year-old would be really, really nice. And if you can get a 12-year-old cask strength, that'd be even better. But you're gonna want something with a little bit more oomph so you can have a little bit more tolerance for all the nonsense that's going on, as everybody is wondering, hey, when are we gonna eat? Is the dinner ready yet? Number 4 is the Wild Turkey 101 Kentucky Straight Bourbon. It's made from a mash bill of 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley. It's bottled at 101 proof or 50.5% alcohol by volume. It's a non-age statement, but it's said to be a blend of 6, 7, and 8-year-old Wild Turkey Kentucky Straight Bourbons, and sells for about $18. All right, dinner is now on the table. You got your turkey, you got your stuffing, you got your cranberry sauce, and you got your mashed potatoes and your sweet potatoes and whatever else that you like to serve for the holiday dinner. Now you're gonna want something that's really gonna hold up with all that. And what I'm gonna have is a little Wild Turkey 101. Now the reason why I'm choosing this one is, first of all, it's American, and if you're celebrating a particularly American holiday, such as Thanksgiving, you want to have something that's going to go with turkey, and what is better with turkey than Wild Turkey? But if you're celebrating Christmas, this also makes a great gift. So everybody who's come to the house, you want to send them home with something, this is really, really, really affordable at only about $18 a bottle. So you're going to have something that they tried in something they can also then turn around and take home. Hopefully, if they're drinking along with you, they've got someone else to drive them home. Perhaps the wife, the spouse, maybe the husband, perhaps the aunt, somebody who's not drinking, or they're going to take an Uber home because by the time we're finished with this evening, they're going to need someone else to drive. This is an absolutely fantastic bourbon, very high quality price ratio. It is a high rye bourbon, so it's got a really nice spicy kick to it. You get your corn character, the vanilla, the caramels. You get both the rye spice going on there, perhaps a little bit of black licorice, but you also get the baking spices there of cinnamon, nutmeg, perhaps a little bit of clove. It has a real nice long finish. Now, I like this on ice, and if I'm drinking more as a beverage to complement the meal, then I'm definitely gonna wanna have it in a nice fancy glass like this. This is the Riedel Spey glass. I really, really like this glass. I like the feel of it. It looks decorative. It looks real nice on the table. And so by the time you're finished with dinner, this bottle ought to be gone. Number 5 is the Lagavulin 11-year-old Islay Single Malt Scotch Whiskey. It's made from 100% malted barley. It's bottled at 46% alcohol by volume. It's aged for at least 11 years and sells for about $99. The reason why I chose the Lagavulin 11-year-old Islay Single Malt Scotch Whiskey Nick Offerman edition is, perhaps you do look forward to the holiday dinner, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas, but you really look forward to that final dram of the evening. It's a great whiskey to have with your friends and relatives. Introduce them to something a little bit peaty, a little bit smoky, something perhaps they've never had before, but it doesn't have a ton of oceanic or medicinal or brandy characteristics. It's really a nice balance between a sort of a heavy smoke, heavy peat, and nice fruit characteristics. Or this might be a dram, but you know what? Your relatives, your friends, your neighbors aren't real big on peated whiskey. They're gonna take one whiff and stick their nose up at it. So you're gonna enjoy this whiskey after they have left, and you're sitting by the fire, finally having a little peace and quiet, just the way you like it on the holidays. So I wanna thank all my viewers and subscribers for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Or if there are some other whiskeys that you would recommend for the holidays, put it in a comment down below. And most of all, I wish you all a healthy, happy, and Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, or whatever it is that you celebrate. And Happy New Year. Cheers. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and check out these other whiskey videos.